Hi, welcome KCIW listeners at 100.7 and KCIW.org in Brookings, Oregon. Welcome to the Joyously Free radio show, also known as the Gadio Show by my queer family. And yes, it's with me, none better than Joanie Lindenmeyer, a resident of Harbor, Oregon for 34 years and a best-selling author of, yes, None Better. Well, today we always start our morning greetings in the same way. It's a saying that Carol and I invented in our 40-year love life. I start by saying it's a brand new day. You, the listeners, and my guest here will get to respond with never been lived before. So, it's a brand new day.
Never been lived before.
Oh my gosh, you have such a great voice, Tom. Oh, yep, I already gave a clue out to all the listeners. Yes, Tom is with me today. So anyways, this Radio Gadio show is a show that talks about LGBTQ stories, tips, along with religion, church, faith, and spirituality. Simply put, it's about joy and freedom and courage and love, confidence and collaboration. It came about because I wrote another book called Joyously Free, and that was written and co-authored with Elizabeth Ann Atkins of twosisterswriting.com, and we are proud to boast 32 contributing writers, many from local areas here of Brookings, Gold Beach, and Crescent City. You will get to hear many of them, but today we have another special guest that is definitely one that seeks understanding, never has a box to think into, and he is full of love and gratefulness, just like all of us are on the Southern Oregon coast. Today, we're going to start with our prayer, and the prayer is really simple. It's, let all the earth cry out to God with joy. It's a responsorial psalm. So let us close our eyes, breathe in with hope, and out with doubt. Breathe in with solace. Breathe out with any negativity. And breathe in, knowing that we are all divine creatures. Yes, the psalm says, let all the earth cry out to God with joy. When I read that this morning in my prayer corner, all I could think about was a circling, rotating earth. All the different oceans, rivers, lakes, creatures, human, animals, sea life, all of them crying out to God, saying, joy, joy, joy. We are alive. We are healthy. We are breathing. We all make a difference in this world. Diversity is what it's all about, from trees to deserts, from people of different nationalities and ethnicities, sexual identities. We are all crying out to God with joy. Those are my little thoughts for today, and that brings us to the point of a great person I have sitting across from me, a special, special guest who brings about diversity in so many ways. I thank God for him. I thank God for you, the listeners today, that today we will get to experience spiritual divinity as well as humanity. Let me introduce you to a friend for many years, Tom Kelem. He is the director of the Del Norte and Tribal Lands Pride. That's Crescent City, if you're looking for the location. He has a heart of gold. He has a background of working with people, empowering people, and bringing the best out of people. He is a man that he's my centered soul in this area. Tom, thank you for being here.
Thank you. That's a lot to take in.
It is. But you are such a special person, and you influence us, and not just me, but so many of us in Del Norte County and in Brookings. You influence us so very much.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah, thank you. And one of the things you've influenced is that Pride is coming up June 21st here in Crescent City at the United Methodist Church. And I know you'll be able to give us more details about what Pride is and where it is and how it came about or whatever you want to talk about. But in relation to that, my Joyously Free book will be a talk I will be giving at the Del Norte Public Library on June 19th from 4 to 6 with the topic Authenticity and Resilience. Because when you know who you are and you are joyful and you are resilient and you are courageous, then you can share that to other people. And that's what the book is about. So I'm so happy to be able to be at, and mark it on your calendars, everybody, June 19th from 4 to 6. I will be there, Authenticity and Resiliency, with all my books. But besides all my books,
At the
Tom,
library.
At the library.
In
Crescent City. You got it.
Right.
You
the
got
library
it.
there is super supportive. It's amazing.
Yes. And Phyllis, the library director, and Robin, who works inside. And I know that the queer community uses the library oftentimes for movies once a month and some other activities as well. Super, super supportive.
Super supportive. I mean, and that's one of the things that has just been really, I don't know, just maybe filling me with joy. That might be a good way to express it. Is, coming into Pride this year, there was some hesitation, a little bit of fear. What's it going to be like this year? The climate has kind of changed. And, and the amount of support, which even feels like more support than last year, which was our first year doing Pride, more people in various parts of the community are like saying, hey, yeah, we want to be part of Pride. And Pride is like this great thing.
Yes.
More businesses are like putting up our posters. We have more sponsors. And that just feels really, really good. It really has like reassured me that things are moving in the right direction.
Yes.
And that whatever's going on the big screen isn't really affecting some of the little stuff. I mean, and I think it's the little stuff that makes a difference.
And that, to me, we are being on the forefront of change as a queer community, but also as a strong ally, supportive community, like you just said. And so we're not making the divisions. We are making one centered entirety of wholeness.
Yeah. And that's been really my message for this year, is like, it's not about arguing or fighting or in any way increasing the divides that are already existing, but to find the common things and find the way that we can all like touch base with our humanity, touch base with our compassion, touch base with our sense of peace and love. And, everybody has that.
Yes.
A lot of times it's hidden behind all kinds of other stuff, and there's a lot of surface stuff that gets in, people's way and in their lives. But, at the core, people are really, really good.
Absolutely.
And I think that the love that they have comes through, and you see it in emergencies.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, and that really hit me a couple of years ago when we had that huge fire in Del Norte. Mm-hmm. And the community just came together. Mm-hmm. And it didn't matter who you were, what your political things were. If you needed help, people helped.
Right.
And, that really touched my heart.
Yes.
And it was like, wow, this is great.
Yes.
And it comes through in so many ways in our community. And when you focus there, you get more of it.
Absolutely.
If you focus on the divisions, it just escalates that, and that's no fun for anybody.
Exactly.
But focusing on where we really touch each other's hearts, and to me, that's really the essence of Pride, and it's part of building community, and it's like building our queer community, but it's also like affecting the bigger community. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because we're like leaders.
Yes, and we all are leaders, and we all have a part in that. It's not up just to the director or this person or that person. It's all of us.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all of us that says no more to hate speech, no more to bullying, no more to any of that. And we do that in our love, compassionate ways.
Right. Totally.
So you hit the nail on the head on that one, Tom. So, Tom, you're off on a roll already. Tell us a little bit about your background, and then how you came to be in Crescent City, and how you came to be connected to Pride. I know that's 3 things.
Wow.
Yeah, your background.
I have so many backgrounds.
Okay.
But I think that, like focusing on the idea of community, I think that when I was living in Berkeley, the 90s, I really started doing things that were about developing community. We used to have potlucks and we had this organization called G-Spring, the Greater San Pablo Park Neighborhood Rainbow Group. And, it just kind of developed. And I know for me, it made me feel safer, knowing who my cool neighbors were.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And, knowing that, if I walk down that street, if something happens, I can go to that house and I can feel safe. And that made a huge difference. And then it sort of developed into, that organization. And then I was also involved in some kind of a queer business group and a queer therapy group. And I realized that was becoming a central theme in my life.
Okay.
Community. And, from being in the Bay Area, I moved to Chico. I got involved in the Stonewall Alliance Center there, which is the queer organization. I eventually was the board director and then the executive director, and really worked with the organization there to grow our community and to bring the different pieces of the community together.
Pieces meaning people?
Well, the people, and there were different factions, like this group was angry at this group because they didn't do this or that, or everybody wanted to sort of be in charge and have it done their way. And I just kind of slowly included everybody.
Yes.
It's I don't care what happened in the past. I don't care if what you're doing is sort of in opposition to us in some way. I'm still going to promote it. I'm still going to support it and do whatever I can, because if you're doing something for our community and we're doing something for our community, then there's two things going on for our community. We don't have to one be better than the other or one be in charge. We can all do what works for us, and then we'll be bigger. And if we work together, we get even bigger. So that was really part of my underlying philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Was just support everybody, do as much as you can. If people don't want to join you, then they don't. But if they kind of see that things are nice that way, then they join, and it helps, and
Yes.
we become a bigger community.
Yes.
And there I was involved in all kinds of things. That we had an interfaith group that I was part of, representing the queer community to them. We had a police community board. We had mental health community board. All these different aspects that I was able to get involved in and sort of bring the, queer perspective, or at least the awareness, just being in the room in a lot of places makes a difference.
Yes.
Because people go, oh, Tom's here.
Right.
And he's representing Stonewall. He's that community.
I can so relate to that because, as a former nun, and of course writing the book None Better, I seem to be, as I tell people, I go from bars to pulpits as I talk and share my life. And so whether I'm in a bar or a park or at the Presbyterian Church at a pulpit or a UCC church, but I'm a church person, religion person, spirituality person, as well as a queer person. And you put all that together and it's collaboration. We want to support everybody for helping people out.
Right. And so at some point I left Chico at October of 2018. Chico is very hot.
Hot as in weather hot.
Weather hot, and it was getting hotter, and I decided I really wanted to be by the coast where it was going to be cooler. And I moved up here, started working for Open Door Community Health Center, which is in Crescent City and in Humboldt. And
And that's a counseling service, isn't it?
well, and it's a whole health clinic. I'm a licensed therapist, and so that's what I was doing there. And, so that sort of got me up here, and got me into the community, and from there I started like finding out more about what goes on in this area. That's kind of like was the avenue for getting up here. And slowly over these past few years, I've been getting to know people and trying to like do what I can. I don't like being in charge. I don't like being the leader, but I just sort of do it. And I mean,
And you're good at it because you're so organized.
well, yeah, I'm organized, but I mean, I also have a philosophy about wanting other people, like not wanting to be the one that's like, oh, you do this, you do that, this is how we're going to do it. I want everybody to participate. I want to find ways for everybody to do what they want, what makes them happy, and to do it in the best way they can, and to find ways to interface that with other people. And sometimes that's slow going, and we're kind of a really loosely knit organization in Del Norte. We're not like in Chico, I sort of jumped into a formal organization that had been going for many years. So there was a lot of infrastructure. Up here, we're sort of building the infrastructure. We're building collaborations between different groups. Like you mentioned that the Pride is taking place at the United Methodist Church in their yard and in their social room. True North, which is a nonprofit organization that works a lot with youth, is part of our group. KFUG, the radio station, and Redwood Voice, the news part of the radio station, are very involved in organizing and helping with things.
The library.
The library is
the
great.
Hospital.
St. Paul's Episcopal. And, and people have really sort of jumped in, and it's like this nice collaboration that builds. It's also like you get to know people better as you work with them, and try to like weave together what different people are doing so that they know about each other.
Right.
And, there's some people that have really been doing that very well, and I'm trying to learn who all the people are.
Right. And that communication, that honest communication back and forth.
Yeah, it makes a difference. And so it's been an exciting journey coming up here and watching things grow. And, we had the whole pandemic thing where everybody was like isolated, and we all learned how to use Zoom better. Now we like have these hybrid meetings, which are far better than, everybody having to like be at everything in person.
Right.
Because it just lets people manage and organize better.
Right. And it gives them their freedom to participate how they want to participate, in person or not in person.
Yes.
Yes, that's beautiful. So what are you excited about this year's Pride? June 21st. Give us the details, and what are you excited about?
Okay, well, so Pride is June 21st. We're having a festival with vendors and some live radio. That'll start at 10 in the morning and go to 2. During that time, we also will have the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence are going to come up and do a blessing at noon. And at 12:30, we have a sidewalk parade that's going to happen. And then at 1:30, there's the dog show, which last year was just so many people wanted to be part of the dog show. It kind of became chaotic because all these people started showing up with their dogs. So we're excited to have that again, and maybe have it be a little bit more organized. Then True North, which is right across the street from the churchyard, is going to be showing a movie Will and Harper.
Oh, great movie.
Yeah, kind of in the afternoon and having a discussion about it. And then at 6 o'clock, we start the entertainment. 6 to 9 is the entertainment evening part of the show. And that's going to have a live DJ, dancing, some drag performances, some other kinds of performances, some spoken word, some music. It's going to be an exciting event, and it's really like building into something really cool.
That is a full day of joy. That is a full day of joy. And whether a person participates in one part of it or all of it, it's all there. It's all inclusive and all open to everybody. Family friendly?
Totally family friendly. We have lots of vendors coming. Last year, we were the whole parking lot was just packed with vendors. It was great. I think this year we're also adding a D&D type game that's going to be happening inside. I should know the name of it, but it's some really cool game that people can participate in. I think we're having a robotics team going to be showing off their robotics stuff.
Wow.
So a lot of really cool things going on.
Awesome.
The best way to find out about all of it is to go to our website, which is dnlgbtq.org.
Run that by them again.
dnlgbtq.org. So it's DN for Del Norte, LGBTQ for the community.org. And on the front page there's links to the various things that are going on and the Pride and all the schedules. We have stuff about the movies. We have stuff about the art show that just opened this past weekend that was really great. And that art show is up until July 5th. So
and where is that located?
That's at the Crescent City Art Gallery, which is on 2nd Street. The entrance is there's an entrance on 2nd, but there's also an entrance in the back off the parking lot. And there's a lot of great art there. It was a great opening. So if you're in town, you can check it out. The gallery's open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 11 to 4. And there's information about that on the website as well. We have a couple of different Facebook groups, which we should probably maybe put all that on the website too so people know how to find those. There's a lot happening and a lot more people, new people putting a lot of energy in, which is very cool.
You bet. And that's a celebration for all of us.
Yes.
And can you talk a little bit about that, what Pride really means to you, Tom? You mentioned all these events, tons and tons of people and events going on, but what does Pride mean to you?
I guess it's like an opportunity to celebrate this part of my life and to acknowledge that it's, I don't know. I mean, these are hard things to talk about.
They are hard things to talk about.
Focusing in on such detail.
Well, I think one of the most important parts in my life, and maybe this will help you, is when I came out, and to realize that I was not a straight woman, that I was a lesbian woman, and to be able to say that to myself, for number one, and then to say it to my family and say it to my friends and start to live in that world of joyously free moment. And the Pride celebration was about equality and justice and treating everybody fairly so that you wouldn't be fired from a job because of your sexual identity and that you could love whoever you wanted to love the way you wanted to love. And to me, that's what Pride is. It's a celebration of that. It's also a celebration of the allies, the people that support and love me for who I am. Can you add to anything of that or agree or disagree with any of that?
I mean, I think all of that's a big part of it. I feel like, I don't know, I've been doing this for so long. It's not as concentrated. But I do think it represents being able to be ourselves, to be able to be out in the world, to see that there's people that are supporting us, to engage with the people that are supporting us, to engage with each other. I think all of that is really important. And to be able to just celebrate that we're alive and we're here and we're making a difference.
And we've been here for a long time, and we will continue to be.
I saw, how Facebook puts up these little memories. So there's a photo of me from the first Pride that I ever attended, which was 1973 in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
And that was a whole different world. But because that was really like more of it wasn't like a riot like Stonewall. People talk about Stonewall being like this fighting back, but it was definitely a moment of bringing people together, making a big statement. It was definitely about like being out there and having people see that we existed and encouraging people to join us. And that was an amazing experience.
So from 1973 to 2025.
The big stretch of time. And a lot of prides, a lot of different prides. Some prides are more of a big party. Some prides are more political. Some prides have many, many different events that are all part of Pride. So it allows all these different aspects and all these different pieces of the community to have their space and to be part of that celebration.
Well said. Well said. Well, you're down to about a minute. Any final comments, Tom, about Pride?
Well, come out and join us. It's going to be a great day. And a lot of many, many, many things that'll go on. I hit some of the highlights, but just being there is so special. And
great.
I think for a small town to have a Pride and to have the kind of support that we have there is just tremendous.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well said. Well said. Thank you, Tom, for being here. Thank you so much, KCIW 100.7, the entire team. Mike is on the sound. We have Tom and Candace and Rose for making all this happen. We want to end and leave you with some final thoughts of be the best you. Be proud of who you are. Support all the people that you love in your life, and know that wear bright colors and smile big. It's that time of year. It's Pride Month. Love you, everybody.
Thank you.